Welcome to a narrated discovery, the channel where we wander slowly, listen deeply, and explore the world's hidden beauty, one country at a time. Today, we travel to Kazakhstan, the largest landlocked country in the world. Stretching between Russia in the north and China in the east, Kazakhstan lies at the heart of Central Asia. With an area almost as large as all of Western Europe, its landscape is shaped by endless steppe, soaring mountains, deserts, and shimmering lakes. Kazakhstan is home to about 19 million people, most of whom live in cities like Almaty, Astana, and Shymkent, but much of the land remains open and wild. The nation is religiously diverse. The majority of Kazakhs are Muslim, while a significant minority is Russian Orthodox Christian. Other religions, including Catholicism, Judaism, Buddhism, and various forms of folk belief, are also present, making Kazakhstan a place where many faiths and traditions meet and mingle. Settle in, find a quiet place, and let your imagination journey across the open grasslands, the ancient Silk Road, and the high mountains of Central Asia. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of the Kazakh steppe in the soft, pearly light before dawn. The air is cool, scented with wild sage and the last memory of night. All around you, the grasslands ripple in slow waves, stretching into infinity beneath a sky already tinged with gold. Far in the distance, the snow-bright peaks of the Tian Shan mountains shimmer against the pale horizon. You close your eyes, letting the silence fill you, a silence that is deep, alive, and old as the earth itself. A faint wind stirs the feather grass at your feet. You listen, and for a moment it seems you can hear hoofbeats in the distance, the echo of generations of nomads who crossed these plains. A lone herdsman rides past, his silhouette dark against the brightening sky, guiding a string of horses as his ancestors did before him. He waves, and you nod in return, a gesture as old as the land. The steppe wakes slowly. A cluster of yurts stands in a hollow by a small stream, their white felt domes glowing softly in the morning light. Smoke rises from a hearth, carrying the scent of burning dung and warm milk. A woman steps out to fetch water, her braids swinging behind her, her dress bright with embroidered flowers. You are welcomed with a smile, invited inside to share tea and bread, your presence greeted as a gift. You sit cross-legged on patterned carpets, sipping hot black tea from a small bowl. The walls of the yurt are lined with woven felt and family memories. Saddles, bridles, silver jewelry, the tools of life lived close to the land. Your hosts offer you kurt, a tangy dried cheese, and barsak, golden fried dough that, after breakfast, you step outside and watch as the camp comes alive. Children chase each other across the grass, their laughter carried on the wind. An old man sits in the sun, repairing a bridle, humming an old song in Kazakh. Horses graze nearby, their coats shining in the clean light. A young woman pours fermented mare's milk, kumis, into a wooden bowl and invites you to taste. It is tart and wild, a flavor that speaks of the open sky. You follow a path along the stream, feeling the grass cool under your feet. The land here is alive with small wonders, wild tulips blooming in crimson and yellow, flocks of saiga antelope moving across the plains, steppe eagles wheeling high above. You pause at the edge of a shallow lake, watching flamingos turn the water pink with their soft, restless movements. Beyond the steppe, the world rises into mountains. You travel by car or train, the journey long and slow, the landscape opening and closing like a dream. Fields of wheat and sunflowers sway in the wind. In the distance, shepherds move their flocks to higher pasture, their tents dotted like stars on the green slopes. The road climbs, and the air grows cool and sharp, scented with pine and stone. You arrive in Almaty, a city nestled at the foot of the mountains, where old Soviet boulevards meet leafy avenues and the snow-capped peaks rise above glass towers. The markets are full of color and noise, fruit piled high, honey thick and golden, spices fragrant with cumin and pepper, stacks of flatbread warm from the oven. You wander through the stalls, sampling dried apricots, horse sausage, fresh walnuts. Vendors greet you in Kazakh, Russian, sometimes in English. The city is a crossroads, open and alive. You visit a green bazaar, where women in bright scarves sell cheese and herbs, where old men play chess beneath poplar trees. In a tea house, you taste plov, rice cooked with lamb, carrot, and onion, each bite rich and satisfying. You drink more tea, listening as people talk in many languages, sharing stories that reach across mountains and centuries. In the afternoons, the city slows. You wander through leafy parks where children play and couples stroll, past fountains splashing in the sunlight. The air smells of apple blossoms. Almaty's name comes from Alma, the Kazakh word for apple, and the city is famous for its orchards. You pause beneath an old tree, picking a sweet, tart fruit and tasting the crispness of spring. You visit the old wooden cathedral, its golden domes shining above the trees. Inside, the air is cool and dim, filled with the scent of beeswax and cedar. Candles flicker before painted icons, prayers whispered in many tongues. You stand in the quiet, feeling the presence of countless pilgrims who pass this way, carrying their hopes and sorrows. Beyond the city, you travel east to Shirin Canyon, where red cliffs rise above a winding river, their layers marked by wind and time. You walk along the rim, watching as eagles ride the thermals, as shadows drift across stone. The land feels old and wild, full of secrets. You join a group of musicians around a fire in the canyon's hush. They play the dombra and kobiz, stringed instruments whose music echoes the rhythm of hooves and wind. The songs are ancient, full of longing and laughter, love and loss. You are invited to sing, to clap, to share in the circle of friendship that opens with the night. At dawn, you continue north toward the vast lake of Balkhash, its water half sweet, half salt, shimmering beneath the open sky. Fishermen mend their nets by the shore, and you join them for a simple meal of fresh-caught carp, bread, and strong tea. The conversation drifts between silence and story, the language of the land itself. Further on, you journey to the sacred heart of Kazakhstan, the endless open spaces where nomad memory endures. In the shadow of ancient burial mounds, you listen as a shaman sings a prayer for the land, for the herds, for the health of the people. Smoke rises from a fire of sage and juniper. The ritual is slow, solemn, and filled with gratitude. You attend a festival in a village on the steppe. Yurts are set up in a wide circle, their white walls gleaming in the sun. Men ride horses in wild races, their shouts and laughter carrying far. Children play kokpar, a game as old as the tribes themselves, fierce and fast and joyous. Women prepare beshbarmak, the national dish, boiled meat and noodles, served in large bowls, eaten with the hands. The meal is shared with laughter and stories, with songs that stretch far into the night. You visit a family for Narrated, the spring festival of renewal. The table is filled with milk porridge, pastries, fruits, sweets. Elders give blessings for health and happiness, and everyone greets each other with warm embraces. Outside, children light lanterns and release them into the dark, their hopes rising with the tiny lights. You wander through the town of Turkestan, its ancient walls glowing gold in the sunset. You visit the mausoleum of Khoja Ahmed Yasawi, its turquoise dome shining beneath the vast sky. Pilgrims come from all over the land, bringing prayers, songs, gifts of bread and fruit. The air is filled with incense and song, with footsteps and hope. In every village and city, you find the kindness of strangers, the warmth of a meal shared, the gentle welcome of tea poured in small, steady cups. The languages of Kazakhstan: Kazakh, Russian, Tatar, Uyghur, Dungan, and more, blend together like the rivers that cross the land. Each encounter is a gift, an invitation to slow down, to listen, to learn. You visit Lake Kandy, its surface pierced by the ghostly trunks of drowned pines. The water is cold and clear, the silence deep. You stand at the shore, watching trout flicker through sunbeams, the mountain air sharp in your lungs. You take a train across the steppe, hours of grass and sky, the world unrolling in green and gold. In the small towns, people wave from platforms. Vendors sell samsa, flaky pastries stuffed with lamb and onion, and sweet, warm chai. You share stories with your fellow travelers, laughter bridging every language. In the west, you walk the salt flats of the Caspian shore, the land gleaming white beneath a sky streaked with birds. You climb the chalk cliffs at Bajira, the world falling away beneath your feet, the silence vast and holy. On quiet evenings, you sit by a campfire, the stars bright and close. Someone sings an old lullaby, and you find yourself humming along, the melody curling like smoke into the night. The constellations turn, ancient and unhurried, and you feel the deep peace of belonging to a world wider and more mysterious than words. As our narrated discovery of Kazakhstan comes to a close, you feel the wide open spaces lingering inside you. The taste of tea and fresh bread, the rush of horses across the grass, the hush of dawn, and the warmth of a welcome fire. You remember the kindness of strangers, the music of old songs, the slow, steady pulse of a land both wild and tender. On your last morning, you rise before the sun. The air is crisp, the grass silver with dew. You walk out onto the steppe, watching as the world brightens, the sky wide and clean, the earth endless beneath your feet. Far off, the call of a herdsman rises, and you wave in greeting, heart full. You carry with you the spirit of Kazakhstan, the patience of its seasons, the strength of its people, the quiet wisdom of a life lived close to land and sky. If you enjoyed this narrated discovery, Please consider subscribing for more poetic journeys to the world's hidden places. Leave a comment if you have thoughts, suggestions, or a country you'd love us to visit next. And if this brought you a moment of calm, a like would mean the world. Thank you for exploring with us. Until next time.